So, on this week's episode, we will be covering what to pack when you're on travel assignment. We'll also talk about a fun family reunion weekend at an awesome state park that we do every 2 years, and just kind of generally what we've been up to as travelers, as parents, as people trying to survive this world. Alrighty, welcome into episode number 9 of the Ryan and Megan podcast. We are your hosts, Ryan and Megan, two traveling physical therapists who really enjoy this lifestyle and now get to travel with our 2 young daughters. So we're really excited to talk about our topic today of kind of what to pack when you're about to go on travel assignment. If you are currently a traveler, you probably have already learned from many mistakes of going out on assignment, packing too much or packing too little. And so you've probably kind of figured out some stuff. So maybe some little extra bonuses we'll bring into the episode of what we bring as kind of luxuries that make life a little easier as a traveler will be beneficial to you. But this will really be beneficial to the people who have never traveled before. You're about to take that first assignment and you're kind of like, what do I take? What do I pack when I'm going on that first assignment away from home? You know, what do I do? It's not a vacation. I'm going to live there for 3 months, but I'm not going to live there permanently. So you don't want to take all of your worldly possessions. So let's make it easy on you. We'll go over kind of what to pack, what we pack, what to do, what not to do.
Before we get into that, if you could, please consider giving us a 5-star review wherever you are listening or liking. If you are watching this on YouTube, that would really help get our podcast out.
All right. So when we were putting together our kind of what to pack list, because we've went on many travel assignments, we've packed and unpacked and packed and unpacked, but we've never written down kind of a list. And hopefully by the time this episode comes out, I will have on our email, I'll be sending out maybe a PDF of this packing list that we're going to go over. All nice and neat for you, free, of course, just to download. But make sure to go onto our website and put in your email, get a part of our newsletter list, or check out our Instagram. Usually I'll put up some things, free downloadables on our highlights. So hopefully we can make this into a PDF list for people to look at. Yeah. But we were really kind of trying to find we were trying to figure out what we wanted to call this packing list. And at first, I think naturally we wanted to lean towards like a minimalist packing list.
Yeah. I think because as a traveler, that's kind of what you have to do because you're moving so often. You really want the hassle of moving to be as minimal as possible. So having a minimalist packing list is kind of the best way to go.
And what we mean by that, if you're unfamiliar with minimalism or whatever they want to call it, is where you pack kind of the bare minimum. And that's like a good starting point. And so you're not having to lug around a full carload in and out of these rentals that you're going to be using, or maybe you have an RV, and you keep it nice and simple so you can travel light.
Yes. Yeah, so we started with the first category, kind of lumping solo travelers and couples together.
Yeah, team travelers.
Yeah, just because what you're going to be packing is all very similar. And that starts with packing just one suitcase per traveler for clothing.
Right. I think your goal is to quote unquote live out of a suitcase. Now, obviously, you're going to have a few other items that go along with that suitcase, and we'll mention those. But your goal is to kind of get all your clothes into that one suitcase so you don't bring 2 or 3 suitcases.
Yes. And honestly, we're going to kind of go through the details of how many outfits or different pieces we think you probably need. And even our list, I would say, might be more than you end up needing because you really notice, especially on the road, which pieces you rewear over and over again. And those are really the best ones to pack, and try and leave the other ones because they just end up taking up space. And
yes, your biggest asset is using multiple types of articles of clothing and mixing and matching to different outfits, and also realizing that a majority of the time, 5 days a week, most likely, you're going to be working. And then you're going to come home, you're going to throw on some loungewear, you're going to relax, watch some Netflix, and then you're going to go to sleep, wake up, put your work clothes back on. And so really you're just kind of dressing for a few nights out if you go during the week or the weekend, depending on what activities you do. So you don't really need that much clothes.
Right.
And you really, what we say is try to not get into the habit. And it's so easy. We still do it, and we've been traveling forever. But when you're packing that one suitcase and you're going through your clothes, in the back of your mind, you're wanting to say, well, maybe I'll need this. Or, well, I'll take this just in case. That's what I'm always finding myself doing. And the next thing you know, I have like a heaping suitcase, and it just doesn't work out.
Yeah, all those just in case scenarios, I'm sure there's a store that will be close enough to you that just in case you need to pop into a clothing store, you can do that in that scenario. So.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, actually, is take the bare minimum, pack that. And then if you are there for a few weeks and you're like, oh, I really need another pair of jeans because I'm out wearing my other pair, or I forgot a nice pair of sweatpants and I'm really wanting to lounge in sweatpants instead of my shorts, then, there will be places
then
that you can
go
buy
something else, which is kind of
what
I enjoy.
Usually there's stores that you can buy the one thing that you feel like you forgot at home, and it'll be okay.
So we're kind of talking about, one pair of jeans, all this. So let's kind of go through what we think probably is what you'll end up needing clothing wise on your contract. So first and foremost, that is work clothes. That is usually business casual or scrubs. And
right. Scrubs make your life easy. We work a lot of home health where we get to wear scrubs. And I love it because you have your pairs of scrubs, they all pack down close, and that's my work
you
clothes.
Have your khakis.
For guys, usually business casual is pretty easy too. I have like 5 polos, 2 khakis, and that's good. But business casual can be a little more difficult because, you're going to work and you don't want to wear the same outfit every time. So we just kind of lump this all in as your work clothes. Pack what you have to get it done. If any of your work clothes can also function as some of these other clothes, then I would try to cross those streams. I would try to cross-pollinate that as best you can, because that'll minimize the amount of clothes that you have. I
like your wording of cross-pollinate. And we don't have any vegetation involved in this process.
You got to
cross-pollinate
and create this new outfit. I tell you what, you want to bring it up when spring comes.
As a lady thinking about business casual for work, where my mind would go to for how many different items to bring is I would think like maybe 3 different pairs of pants that are really good, maybe 2 black because black goes with everything, and then 1 more like dark green or something. And then I pick a couple polos and maybe a couple blouses and rotate those out, maybe more than 5 so that I'm not always re-wearing the same 5 outfits in a week. But, sometimes those blousey shirts are pretty thin and they don't take up that much space.
Right. So. It really is amazing. Everyone has the fear of like people will notice you're wearing the same clothes over and over. As long as you don't smell and you have a semi-rotation of a couple things, people think so much of themselves that they are not really thinking about you, and they're not thinking about what you're wearing. I mean, just think about it. Can you recall what your coworker wore 2 days ago? Most of the time not, unless it's like obvious. So as long as you're not obvious, no one's going to think of you.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so then the next rule around clothing we kind of went with was pack 7 to 14 outfits outside of work. And these doesn't necessarily mean like 7 to 14 whole different outfits with individual pieces. It's just like what pieces you can take to work into 7 to 14 outfits.
Yes, it's that whole cross-pollinating thing, mixing and matching your outfits to that could range from 7 to 14. Why we put that number is because you're not going on vacation. On vacation, right, you might bring an outfit for each day if you're there 7 days. But you're there a little longer, but you're not going to be there forever. So you kind of want to do that. Think of an extended vacation mindset. 7 to 14 outfits you can repeat for those 3 months, and then you move somewhere else. No one's going to know your wardrobe. You get to hit refresh on it.
So in our mind, this kind of means like pick 2 jeans, what did we say?
Yeah, we would say 2 jeans. We like jeans. Maybe you don't like wearing jeans, but that's kind of a very versatile pant.
Uh-huh.
So you can wear that, not to work, but you can wear that going out with multiple different tops.
Uh-huh.
You might have different color jeans, a darker shade, a lighter shade, maybe even black jeans.
Mm-hmm.
So very versatile. We say 2, don't bring any more than that. The next pair of long pants would just be 2 more long pants that you can choose. So for me, that's going to be like, I'm going to have some kind of sweats
Mm-hmm.
that I can jump into once I get off work. And then maybe like a hiking pants, or maybe for women, it might be like a yoga pants, or
Mm-hmm.
so in total, you'll have like 2 pairs of jeans. Your khakis can be kind of part of jean, and then 2 just kind of random pants.
Mm-hmm. And then like 2 to 4 shorts. So athletic shorts. And obviously this depends on the season that you're traveling as well too.
Of course.
And your preference, but it's just kind of a
Generic,
general guideline.
minimalist, generic checklist to go over to spur your mind as you're packing, and then you can vary how you need to. But yeah, about 4 shorts seems right. You're gonna have like 2 sports shorts, and you're gonna have maybe some like a nicer jean short, a nicer khakis short. I don't know what we call my pants that I always wear. They're not like cargo shorts, but they're like
dad shorts.
Dad shorts, yeah, like the khaki and gray shorts that are kind of quick dry. So you can bring those and then repeat and wear those.
Yep. And then as far as shirts, we kind of went with 5 casual shirts, maybe a couple nicer ones, 3 nicer ones. This might be like if you're going out for a dinner or you get invited somewhere, that you can put on top to kind of dress things up.
Right. And those casual shirts, 5 casual shirts, could be t-shirts like this, whatever you feel comfortable in. And then those 3 nice shirts, I know it just seems like, wow, only 3 nice shirts. It depends on how much you go out, but really a rotation of 3 nice shirts can get you a long way. Like people aren't going to notice that. And then you can add different stuff. You can add a cardigan, you could add a scarf, you could add a jacket over your nice shirt.
Are they supposed to be bringing cardigans and scarves?
I'm just saying there's versatile things that like later, you can pack that can help your outfit kind of be multiple things. But 3 nice shirts will get you through most kind of go out to dinner events.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Shoes wise, this always gets us ladies because it never seems like there's a shoe that goes with everything. But
I think this is the hardest one for you. And I'm not just saying that.
No,
I could see how that would be
hard.
No,
it is. But actually, it's gotten... For somehow the past couple seasons, I've just picked a shoe and gone with it. And it's gotten a little bit easier because I think when we're traveling, I find that I pick one most often. And then I'm like, well, I have to pack that one. And that's my only option to wear. So
how does it feel these last couple times you just did it? You picked one. Did you feel like once you were there, you were wishing you had other shoes?
I think there were a couple times I didn't have the right shoe for the outfit. And it was more when I was needing to get more dressy to go out somewhere. It was never on a day-to-day basis or my usual thing, but like I went with my cousin to a Dancing with the Stars event and I didn't really have anything dressy. I could have gone out and bought like a more dressy outfit. So I just ended up working with what I had and nobody noticed and it wasn't that dressy of an event anyway and it was fine. But that's the only time I've noticed it. So for a shoe rule, we generally say a tennis shoe because you're usually working in a tennis shoe. You might do hobbies on the weekend that require a tennis shoe. A casual shoe, which could be like a slide or a slip-on or
sandal, a loafer, a hey dude.
Yeah. And then vary. What was our third one?
My casual is a Croc. I love having a camping Croc, so I have Crocs that I wear.
Yeah, and then 1 pair of nicer shoes to go out with. So I feel like for men that's easier to have like
definitely easier for men because I have like 1 leather nice boot that goes well with pants.
But
and I can wear that.
If you are packing minimally as a lady and you kind of know what your like nicer going out outfits will be, if you can try to get those to match with a nicer going out shoe, then go for it. I know it's hard, but
I do know though, like flats, like those pack real easy.
Yeah, but I don't know if
some
flats
like
are
dressier
in,
flats.
or they might be coming back.
They're
in.
out.
I don't
sorry.
know. They were in at one point. I can't keep up with that.
Our next thing, just a general kind of undergarments. We don't have to go through all the different undergarments you need to bring on travel assignment, but make sure you pack a few of those because you will need it. And then
Don't forget.
And then we would say bring some type of jacket or hoodie. And so this kind of starts our layering system. So you have your clothes, your normal clothes. Then you're going to want some kind of light jacket, I would say. So sometimes people love a hoodie. So bring your favorite hoodie, but only bring one. This is where, if you're jacket people like us, we want to bring like 5 different jackets because they all are a little different, a little stylish. Try to bring one that you know you're going to layer with your coat.
Mm-hmm.
And so could be a cardigan, could be just a light zip jacket, could be a hoodie, and then also bring a nice coat. Now, obviously, if you're going to Florida in the summer, you're probably not going to need a coat, so don't worry about it. I would still bring the light jacket because inside clinics, it's cold. But then, if you're going anywhere where it could be a little bit cold, then go ahead and bring a nice coat that you can layer with that hoodie or jacket.
Yeah. Where my mind goes sometimes with this is like, oh man, I can't pack like all of my other clothes. Like when I come back home, I have all these unused clothes. It's kind of a weird feeling to come back home because you're like, do I really need all of these? Or you've missed out on wearing them all for however long you were traveling. But something that is cool that this opens you up to is on your travels. If you go to a really cool place or you see a really cool piece, you can pick it up and like keep it with you. And it's a part of your travels that then you wear. And I've gotten to do that a couple times. Like when we were in Sedona, I saw a t-shirt that was embroidered really cool and I really liked it. So we got it and I wore the heck out of that thing. Wasn't super fancy or anything, but I really liked it and enjoyed it. And it was a part of our travels. And then I brought it home and it reminded me of that place and all of the memories we have there. So that's kind of a cool opportunity this opens up because you don't already feel overwhelmed with the amount of clothes that you have.
Right. And you might find yourself, all these, when you have a smaller wardrobe is what we have found is you get to have nicer pieces of that wardrobe. So your one pair of jeans, your one pair of shorts that you're going to wear multiple times, it's not going to be that old ratty pair that you still have from high school. Mm-hmm. It might be time to just chuck that out and say, hey, if I'm only going to get 2 nice shorts, I'm going to have 2 nice shorts and go buy you some nice new ones. And it feels less overwhelming, when you don't have all those clothes that you see in your closet there and then tell yourself, well, I'm going to go buy clothes. You have the smaller wardrobe and start swapping out pieces. I've bought nice hiking pants for us. Or for me.
For you.
Because we were doing a lot of hiking. I've bought nice shoes because I'm going to have one nice pair of shoes. So you can start kind of thinking of that.
Yeah.
The next thing would be, we're kind of getting out of the clothes part of it. So that would be our clothes. That's kind of your minimalist clothes list. And then build from there what you personally need. Our next thing would be try to keep your hobbies to 1 or 2 on the road. 1 if you can, but sometimes they intermingle a little bit. So 1 or 2. Usually any more than that, you're bringing a lot of stuff and odds are you're not going to have time to do any more hobbies than that. So kind of pick and choose. And it kind of depends on what kind of hobby you have. If you're like a paraglider or something, then your hobby takes up a lot more space. But I remember on our first contract, You brought
everything.
I brought everything. I brought backpacking gear because I thought we were going to go backpacking. I brought camping gear. I brought RVing stuff. I brought golf clubs. I don't even golf.
You brought fishing stuff. You brought your bow and arrow.
Yeah. So I brought so much stuff.
Stuff to get on the water with.
Float trip stuff, kayaks. It
was a lot.
Every hobby that I've ever had, I had it packed in there. And we went hiking. That was our hobby.
I mean, we did use our floating stuff.
We floated once in 6 months. And so you can see kind of how ridiculous it would be. Like I carried golf clubs around with me for so long and we went golfing once. And so go ahead, try to limit yourself to 1 or 2 hobbies that you truly love. And again, once you're out on the road.
And that you'll do the most often because you are going to be hopefully getting to participate in your hobbies that you want to do while you're on the road, but pick the ones that you're going to do most often. And then usually there's a rental deal that you can figure out with the other ones when you're on the road.
Yes, usually there is a rental. Like if you want to rent kayaks because you're going to go maybe twice in your 6-month contract, or if you really get there and you're like, oh man, I wish I had this hobby, then you can buy stuff.
That can be a
Yeah.
tricky one.
I think that was the biggest error in our packing for me.
We did go from basically packing up our apartment completely into our RV. So we didn't have a whole house to where we could leave stuff. We kind of were packing it all up to go. So
We
that was a
also,
little different.
when you have an RV, you can pack that baby full. You shouldn't, but you have a lot more. I mean, you have a whole trailer that you can just pack full of stuff. And so we did. We were pretty overloaded to where if you have a car, if you're just going as a solo traveler in your car, you can only fit so much in your car.
Mhm.
So it's a good limitation.
Okay. So the next thing is toiletries. This is your typical like shower supplies, hair supplies, makeup, face stuff.
Hair curlers. Sometimes they have a blow dryer there, but if you like yours, that type of stuff.
Yep.
So toiletries, that's kind of just a general category.
Hygiene.
We have a water bottle on there. Megan can show you the water bottles we prefer. Sponsored, not sponsored.
I don't have the name on there. So
Anyway, bring you a nice water bottle. It makes for an easy thing you can bring to work to keep yourself hydrated. It's an easy thing to take on your trips, whether you're going into town and exploring a new city or you're going out to a national park and hiking. So a water bottle is always good. Refillable water.
that is important. It's one you would forget. The next thing that you want to pack is an adventure bag, an adventure pack type thing. This can be useful because you can also pack your other stuff into it. So that's nice. It doesn't really take up extra space, but this is like some sort of carrying vessel for different adventures you're going to go on while you're on contract, just to make it easy to carry things around with you, whether that's a backpack or a hiking bag or like a fanny pack, something that would work for you on kind of your hobbies that you want to do.
The next thing would be your own personal pillow. This is something we really enjoy, bringing our own pillow to a rental place because it just makes you sleep better. And when you sleep well, you're happy. And so bring your own pillow, maybe your own pillowcase also.
It does. You just kind of never know what type of bedding is going to be at the place that you're going to. So it can bring a sense of comfort and easy sleep if you really like your own pillow.
There's nothing worse than getting to the rental and the pillow is like super flat.
Yeah.
And your head's just like, you wake up with the neck crick and it's the worst.
Mine.
So bring your own pillow. Find you a pillow that you like.
You know, my other pet peeve with bedding is that shiny comforter. I don't know if any of you have a shiny comforter and you really enjoy it, more power to you. But it just doesn't say, come have a nice sleep to me.
I actually think that might be not necessarily on the list, but maybe a luxury item is bringing your own sheets that you like to sleep in.
That would definitely be a luxury item, but
they don't
might be worth it.
Yeah, they don't really take up that much space if you just did the sheet set, and you might sleep a little bit better because who knows, you might get there and you might not like the certain type of sheets that they have on the bed.
Totally wish we were sponsored by my favorite sheets. Oh, they're so good.
And then the last thing, again, another general category, electronics. We all have electronics. We all have phones. Everything needs to charge nowadays. My watch charges, my phone charges. You need your laptop. So whatever your electronics,
Kindle.
Whatever your electronics are, make sure you bring all those.
Yeah. So that's kind of like our main basics, things that you need to have covered. And I feel like we're really forgetting something, but I don't know what that would be.
Hopefully we know before I make the PDF that I send out to everyone. But if you guys find something, send me a message and I'll add it to the new PDF.
So we do want to go over a couple additional items that can really kind of enhance your time at your rental and might be something that you use on a day-to-day basis that you do need to bring because it's part of your normal routine. So one of the first ones that I think of is cleaning supplies. And this is something that I haven't really gotten quite down because we were like between staying in an RV and doing Airbnbs. But definitely if you are staying at a rental, you might want to travel with a small like cleaning set. So that might just be like Lysol wipes, maybe like a small, easy, portable vacuum because not every place has a vacuum. I don't know, just some basics. And then if you need something more when you're at the place, you could go get it. But at most places, you're going to need something to kind of freshen up and clean things every now and then.
We've stayed in rentals where they have the cleaning supplies there. That's awesome, but you never know what they're going to have. And then it's nice to have all your cleaning supplies in like a small cleaning caddy, whatever that might be, a caddy, a box, something you can throw it in so you don't just throw a bunch of random cleaning bottles into your car.
One of my least favorite feelings is like when you're at a rental and you feel like you can't really get it clean like you would your house just because you don't have all the right supplies to do it. So,
but that's a luxury item, not a must, but it is nice. The next thing, which you've already kind of mentioned, is a small vacuum. And so we've done a video on like the small vacuum we have. It's just one we got off Amazon. And again,
we've done a video on that.
Yeah, we talked about the vacuum, not solely on the vacuum. We talked about packing and stuff. And that was one of the cool luxury items that we would include. Moving on from that, a luxury item would be spices. So your food and cooking, you might not do that much cooking as a solo person unless you love cooking. And so sometimes food can get a little mundane. A simple thing to pack is just some of your favorite spices that you can put on multiple different dishes and just make your food that much better.
Yeah, and if you already have them from your home base that you're coming from, it's easier to bring them because then you don't have to rebuy them.
Yeah. One of my favorite is the Weber's Kickin' Chicken. It's great. We use it on more than just chicken too. The next thing to go along with the cooking would be a cooking device. So maybe you really like your air fryer. If you can fit it in that car, then it might be something good to bring.
An
probably
Instant Pot.
For us, it'd be an Instant Pot.
Yeah.
We do a lot of meals with that. It's nice and simple. Maybe a coffee machine, not really a cooking device, but if you have a specific coffee setup that you like to bring, that could be another kind of kitchen item.
Another kitchen item is a blender. If you make a lot of like smoothies, you would want to bring that. Most times rentals won't have those types of things.
Yeah, they're not going to have those specialty items most of the time.
I just thought of another specialty item. We would probably do this. We travel with one of our favorite frying pans.
Oh, yes.
Yes, because it's really good, nonstick. We love how it works. And sometimes the kitchenware isn't the greatest, or it's just not our favorite pan. So we travel with that too.
We literally travel with the frying pan, but it's a good frying pan. So we bring it right along in all of our rentals. Yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah.
Good call out on that one. The next one would be a travel coffee mug. And so I bring one that I take to work every morning on my commute. And it's just a little piece of home that makes it nice because you never know if you're going to have a travel mug there.
A small cooler. Maybe you need this on the weekends.
Yeah, this could be as small as like a lunchbox. You're just taking a few drinks or maybe bringing your lunch to work. But it could also be like what we bring is our small Yeti cooler. And we've utilized that so much on car trips and on just having for weekend trips quite often.
And then a lawn chair. It's kind of extra. I mean, that's pretty essential for us because that's the type of things that we usually end up doing. Requires a lawn chair. So that could kind of fall under a hobby. But
again, this is why it's kind of luxury item. But there is a lot of different places where you bring a lawn chair to hang out with people. But we do a lot more
pool,
camping and stuff.
The parking lot.
Yeah. Wherever you would like to sit.
Wherever you want to sit.
The lawn chair is there for you.
The laundromat.
Then the last thing I would say is more dressy wear. So like a suit, a really fancy dress. We would say,
especially if you have a specific event that you know you're going to have to go to.
Right. That's when we would bring that stuff. Majority of the time, we do not bring it. We leave that stuff at home. Unless we have a specific event that we know we're going to go to, then we'll bring my big suit thing along and you'll bring a dress. Other than that, we have lugged our dressy wear around to multiple contracts, never used it, and it's just a waste of time. But
yeah, so that kind of wraps up what we were thinking for individual travelers and people traveling as a team, plus extras. And the extras obviously could apply to a family, but next we're going to kind of add on a few things we think a family would be packing if they were going on a travel assignment.
Right. If you're traveling as a family, we're in the baby phase right now. So I apologize because this list is very baby focused, but they kind of need the most stuff.
They need a lot of stuff.
To where older kids, they need a lot of stuff too, but it's very similar to what you need. So electronics and clothes and all this different stuff. So we do lean a little bit heavy, but it is important to try to get your mind, jogging on if you're a family looking to travel. What all do we need to bring? Because you don't need to bring your whole house, and babies can really make you overpack. But these are kind of the essentials.
Yeah. So obviously toys is on that list, and it's going to be hard to pare down toys for us. We're going to have to do this in a couple weeks. But trying to pick really versatile ones. We always try to rotate out our toys, so we're not always presenting every single one all at once. So I'll probably still try to do that to keep things interesting. That might be a way to help if you're like, oh my gosh, my kid is going to get bored because they're only going to have this many toys and they're going to play with all of them and then be like, then what? You could play with the idea of still bringing only a few, but keeping some tucked away somewhere and then rotating them in and out so that your kids don't get bored.
Kids have great imaginations though, so whatever toys you can bring, they're gonna play games. They're gonna play,
Yeah, kick them outside.
Yeah.
Let them play.
So have some nature. Grab a stick, throw it around.
Yeah.
The next thing would be the kiddos or baby sleeping arrangements. So if you have a really young baby, an infant like us, you got to think of some kind of bassinet that's going to be close to you in your bedroom for those early months.
A crib.
One of our kind of number one things that we've brought is a pack and play. Pack and play is very versatile because we can bring it along on our weekend trips. Reagan has slept a majority of her nights in a pack and play while we were out on contract. And then they have really nice pack and plays that have different changing tables that it can attach to the top. You can elevate it when they're really young. So there's quite a bit out there. So a pack and play is a great one that you can fit in the car and have a crib for wherever you're going.
Yep. Along with sleeping arrangements, they might have a special thing that they sleep with or sheets that they like.
Sleep
they
sack.
Might have, a sleep sack, a monitor, a sound machine, a night light, all the things.
Yeah. So
blackout curtains.
Yes, that was actually, we didn't put that on the list, but blackout curtains really saved us in Texas because it was pretty bright in there. And so when we put Reagan down, it was summer, so the sun was still up. So we were, those tension rods and blackout curtains over the windows really were helpful. And then, of course, a monitor and a sound machine are always plus for good sleeping for the baby.
Yeah.
And maybe for you. Who knows?
Next are feeding things. So for babies, obviously this can be bottles, things to clean the bottles, ways to disinfect the bottles,
ways to dry the bottles, utensils for your toddlers, if they're learning
special
how to use
plates.
Forks and special plates. And you don't think you need those things, but with those little hands and you're trying to organize your food, it makes it easy if
Bibs.
you can get a few of those bibs.
High chairs.
Yes, most places will not have a high chair that you're renting
Sometimes they
from.
list it, or you can ask.
That would be a great thing to ask. Our rental in Texas had a high chair. They had a pack and play. They had a baby gate. So sometimes that's a great thing they offer, but not all of them offer that. The next one is entertainment for the car ride. So you're going to be going to a travel assignment, depending on how far you're going to be traveling. If your kids are like ours, you need to entertain them somehow. And so a tablet usually works if they can read a book, music. So just thinking of that car ride, because it can be a long drive.
Little things to draw on that are safe.
That you can like
giving on
reerase
everything.
and stuff. So you got to think about them too, because they're going to be riding in those car seats for a long time.
Yes. And then another one that we aren't quite in the middle of right now, but it could be school supplies if you are homeschooling or if they're doing some sort of online school. You would want to bring that along as well.
Right. That could be as simple as they already have their laptop. Maybe they're doing majority of schooling online. For us right now, we don't have like formal schooling, but we do bring some children's books because Reagan likes to read and we like to read to the girls. So that's kind of like in our quote unquote school supplies, maybe coloring books and coloring utensils. So you're going to have like a box of school supplies. Oh, and all of this, if you can have like bags or if you can have like a little tote that's easily organized and you can put all like the school supplies in, or you can put all like the baby bottle and feed stuff in, that makes life way easier when you're pulling it out of that rental and you're putting it in the car to have little boxes for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And when you say boxes, you mean like those foldable...
Yeah, you could have those...
like cube boxes?
Yeah, those foldable cube boxes that you see in dorms or you see at like Target all the time in those little squares.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why we like those is because you can easily pack that stuff in. But then once you're there and you unpack, you can fold those boxes up and you can put them in a closet somewhere.
Yeah. Or you can use them for organizing your place. And then lastly, we wanted to list over-the-counter medications, especially for kids, just because you never know when you're going to need those. And it's not quite as easy to just run out to the store when you have sick kids in tow. So that's things like Tylenol and ibuprofen and gas drops and little Band-Aids.
Yeah, that one's nice just to have in a nice tote that you can stick up somewhere and you just have like a little pharmacy for you to tote around.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is really kind of what came to our mind when we were thinking about what's the difference between a solo and team traveler packing compared to a family. And there's probably more things that we have forgotten. It seems like you introduce a kid into travel and there is a lot more that you bring along, and you have to bring it along. And so those are some things just to get your mind kind of thinking about it.
Yes. So before we move on to what we've been up to, which is our next segment, we do want to say go ahead and check out our website at ryanandmeganorear.com. If you're looking for some resources on travel, we have a lot of different articles. We have our YouTube videos listed, different mentorship options and recruiter recommendations. So check that out if you are looking for more info.
Okay, so what have we been up to, Megan?
Woo, we've been busy.
We have been very busy. We apologize for not having some podcast episodes out for the past few weeks.
Yeah.
But we were just trying to survive.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just adjusting to life with 2 kids and life in general and trying to do, extra stuff on top can be very, very busy. But one of the really fun things that we've gotten to do just this past weekend was a family reunion, which isn't like a typical family reunion where you have, I don't know, like 100 people coming. I mean, it might get to that at one point, but it's a trip that my family takes every 2 years. It's been going on for at least 30 years in the form that it is in right now. And then they've been visiting the same place even longer than 30 years. And it's something that the whole family looks forward to. And we get to spend a whole bunch of time together and eat food and play games and watch the kids run around and play outside. And the weather was perfect. Fall's just hitting. The leaves were changing. We got to go apple picking. So that was a lot of fun.
It was really great. We couldn't have timed the weather better. It was like that perfect fall Pere Marquette feeling that everyone hopes for. It doesn't always happen. I think the last Pere Marquette, it was freezing. We were
really
all so cold. And the majority of the time you spend it outside. So how this state park is set up is it's a great state park in Illinois. It has a lot of history with it. This big old lodge, and then they have these different cabins that
have not been updated.
That are all stone. Ever. They were probably updated in the 70s. And they've stayed that way. But what's really fun is that you have this historic lodge that there's rooms in, but the whole family rents out almost all the cabins there. And there's a big lawn that all the kids can play on. We round up around the campfire and we cook outside and we hang out outside. And then it's just a really great tradition that I've gotten to enter into. I think that was like my 3rd or 4th Pere Marquette. I can't even really remember.
Your 4th one.
And so I've been around a little while now. And it's really fun because we are in a stage of the family where it's transitioning. And so you have the grandparents who had the kids, your aunts and uncles, all the aunts and uncles and your parents had kids, and then they were all small and got to grow up with Pere Marquette. And now the kids, like Megan and me, or like you,
are having
kids. And so we had a whole new generation of kids.
It's the fifth generation that has been at Pere Marquette.
Wow. That is crazy.
It's pretty cool.
A whole new generation. It was a lot of fun to see the girls out there. And then we got to do our annual apple picking because it's not too far from where this state park is.
Yeah.
So if you have a family, if you have a family reunion, think about a cool state park near you. It could be a really awesome option.
Another thing we've been doing is preparing for our next assignment. Ryan has procured an assignment and we will be moving into the RV. And so we haven't really been getting into the whole packing yet, but Ryan has been having to do like medical stuff and get his CPR license recertified and turn in paperwork and stuff like that. So it's a couple extra tasks during the week that can really add up when you feel like you're already at your max.
Yeah, I had to drive out to where we store our RV and I had to winterize the RV because we're supposed to get some cold weather. I didn't want our pipes freezing just like a month before we're going to move right into it.
Yeah.
So that took some time. I know there's some different things in the RV that we probably need to spruce up, but I think that's going to wait until we're in it. And then just trying to think through, we're hopping back into RVing. We have all the stuff, but we're going to be living in it full time for a short while. And just trying to think through
we're going to have to use our packing list.
We're going to have to use our packing list and try to stick to it.
And I think we're going to have to add things because we are kind of furnishing our RV for us. And we have some things in there already, but not really everything.
Right.
So could maybe make an RV packing list after we go through it.
It's very different because each RV is different. There's different ways you can fill it, but it just like a simple thing to think about. If you're a solo traveler and you're just going to go rent a room or rent an apartment on assignment, you're not going to need to bring silverware. An RV, you got to bring silverware because you're going to be cooking in there. So there's a few extra things that we do have in the RV because we've taken it on multiple trips. But I'm sure we'll get there and we'll be like, oh, wait, we need this. And good thing we brought our frying pan,
yeah,
that different stuff. So just preparing for that big move. It's a little scary, but it's coming up.
All right. Do you have anything else to say about what we've been up to?
No, we just have been trying to survive to be surviving parenthood.
Yeah.
And it's hard. 2 under 2 is hard, just being parents. I've been gone for a few weekends for a few things. Maybe not even like gone, like just have been busy. So that's been a lot of stress on Megan, as you can expect. And but I'm back. The girls are sleeping a little bit better. It goes in phases. And when you have a lack of sleep, it is tough to survive, but it's happening.
So before we head on over to what's been good, what's been poopy, we want to encourage you to email us or fill out the link below for recruiter recommendations if you are wanting to get into travel and you need a good recruiter. We always say that they really help make your experience great, and we have some that have made our experience great and we want to share them with you. So if you need those, don't be afraid to email us or to fill out the link. Our email is ryanandmeganorear@gmail.com. And with that, let's head on over to our last segment of the night. What's been good? What's been poopy? Ryan, hit me.
With the question or with which one?
Whatever one you want to pick first.
I'll start with poopy. What's been poopy is that pre-travel assignment paperwork. It's like the one thing I don't like about travel because you got to go I had to go get another TB done. Had to go get my flu shot to have that up to date. Had to redo my CPR because it was going to expire during my contract, and they wouldn't let me go in that contract, even though it was expiring like a week before the contract would end, and I would have gotten it during that time. So I had like a week to get my CPR done. So I had to go do a long 4-hour class for that. Just all that little nitty gritty paperwork is just poopy. It's like the worst part of travel. And so
Yeah.
it makes this segment.
Yeah. What's been good?
What has been good has been audiobooks. Since I work home health, I have a lot of drive time during the day. And so I listen to podcasts and audiobooks. And so if you're not too much of like a page by page reader, audiobooks are a great option nowadays because they have audiobooks for everything. And you can learn so much.
Especially if you got a good local library, you can get it for free.
You pick a topic that you're interested in, building tree houses, whatever. There's probably an audiobook for it, and you'll learn a wealth of knowledge from it. And like Megan said,
books really are a treasure. Aren't they?
They are a treasure. If you have a local library, no kidding, go to your local library. Most of them nowadays have jumped into the 21st century, and you can actually get books and rent them for like 14, or at least our public library. We can rent them for 14 days. They go directly to our Kindles. And you can check out an audiobook. So a majority of the time before I buy a book, I will look it up on our library. They have it. And then no matter where we're at on travel assignment, that's the other good thing. It's our local public library near our tax home. But we still use the online stuff when we're far, far away in a different state.
Yeah, that's true.
To get books. And so it's a really great option. Audiobooks are awesome. And
also,
that has been
I think
good.
Our county's library program is like one of the best in the country.
Top notch. Come to our tax home. Just sign up for our local library, and then you'll be
great.
Set.
My turn.
Yeah. So what's been poopy?
What's been poopy? Honestly, I'm just gonna be real. I think what's been poopy is trying to figure out the balance of life right now. It's just challenging to figure out what to prioritize, what you don't get to do anymore, what you should be doing, what you want to do, how to balance all of that. It's just been...
It's very hard. Everyone talks about like a work-life balance.
Uh-huh.
For us, I feel like our work as like therapists doesn't even bother us too much.
Yeah. That's because...
We add other work onto things. And so like if you've been watching us or following our Ryan and Megan, Instagram and YouTube, you know that we've typically made vlogs for like episodes, and we have like seasons of wherever we're at for travel contracts. Such an awesome thing, and it's been really fun. But we had Reagan, we had a kid, and then we had another one on the way, and we were just falling way behind on the vlogs because not only does it take a lot to film them, but it takes a long time to edit them. And I would edit for a while and then I'd get burnt out, and then Megan would edit for a while and get burnt out. And then Megan, you were staying home with Reagan for a little while.
Yeah. And oh my gosh, I knew that taking care of kids was a lot, but I expected to be able to get more done. And it's just like, you can't. Mm-mm. And then it's like, when you do get a break, do you want to spend your brain power on working on that stuff, or do you need to like
sleep?
Give yourself a minute to like feel human again. Right. So it's just been hard because all of the extra things that we put on our plate, we really find value in and we want to do, and we want to do a good job at it. It's just hard to find the time. So
we want to provide awesome travel therapy resources to you guys. That's why we've kind of changed into this podcast form. So we really greatly appreciate everyone who's followed us right into the podcast and has supported us and still benefiting from our content. We apologize in advance. We're just parents trying to figure this out, and we just share kind of our experience as travelers. And so as you saw the past 2 weeks, we haven't had an episode out, but we had to just be parents for a little while, and that'll probably ebb and flow as our family grows. And so we'll try to do as much as we can, but certain things come first, right?
Right.
Like our health and sleep.
What has been good is I have found a cashew milk ice cream that is very delicious. I've stopped having milk products for the baby, just to help her tummy feel better. And ice cream is a milk product. So delicious. Cashew milk ice cream, I think, in my opinion, is way better than Oatly oat milk based ice cream. So just my opinion.
For you
But
ice cream people out there.
For you people who need something good.
Now, would you choose that over like a true milk-based
No.
ice cream? No, that's still king.
Yeah. Like a good chocolate milkshake, I'm really missing, but
All right, that's it for our episode. Hopefully that was helpful with the packing, what to pack for your travel assignments. Be on the lookout for our PDF of our packing list. I'll kind of hone that in. Hopefully I'll have it down in the description if I'm working quick. And until next time, see ya.